1, 2, 3, 4.
If you find you're stuck indoors,
Make some art and make some more.
if you're feeling really bored,
Make some art and make some more.
don't matter if you cannot draw,
Make some art and make some more.
make something never seen before.
Make some art and make some more. And make some more.
Welcome to Room 13 Art Studio, brought to you each week by Janie, artist in residence at the Mill Primary Academy. She'll help you make your home a fun and fabulous creative zone with little help from Finn and Paddy. Join us each week for Magic Make, Drawing Date, Awesome Artist, Tremendous Tip. Right, let's get the arty started. Phew.
Action.
Hey, and welcome back. I think it's episode 7 this week. How are you, Paddy? How are you getting on?
I'm feeling...
Episode 6.
No, we did episode 6 last week, so it must be episode 7.
I'm feeling great. And do you like these bad boys on my feet?
I think those are my Crocs, aren't they? Are
Yes.
they comfy? Maybe
Yep.
we'll get you a pair of your own Crocs.
I know I want sandals.
Sandals.
Kinda like
yeah, it's nice
sandals.
because it's sunny weather, isn't it?
Indian. Just loading my gun. Okay, that's
So this week we are looking at some very exciting work by an artist called Akash Nihalani, and they make fabulous graffiti style art but using tape. So they make these really cool outdoor graffiti pieces, and that are kind of slightly like optical illusions, but they just use tape. So we've got lots of tape here today, and we're going to help you make a piece. So we'll see you in a few seconds for some fab making. Okay, so Paddy, I wanted to show you these photos of Akash's work. Do you see these lovely, amazing graffiti pieces they've created on a wall outside using tape? And
I love the way you say tape.
yeah, I try to say it in an English accent so that people can understand me, because sometimes with my Northern Irish accent they can't understand me. Look, Paddy, at this one, they've done it on the ground and they photographed a person lying down as if they're walking on the blocks. So I think these are really amazing. So what I've started doing here is I've started making a cityscape on a background that I have. So I have this nice multicolored background, and you can make one like this just by splashing paint. I've got glitter on there, all sorts of things. And then I've got I've just used tape to mark out buildings. And let's look at some of the kinds of tape that we've got, Paddy.
Okay.
So anything you have lying around the house, these are electrical tape. So you can ask your parents if they've got any electrical tape. This is some foil tape, which is absolutely fantastic, especially for doing windows and things. We've got some washi tape, and that big green one over there, that's masking tape. So just anything that you've got. Now, Paddy,
Am I doing an English accent?
well, you've got an English accent, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you want to help me work on this one, or would you like to start your own one here?
I
on
want
this?
to bring on one.
Right, okay, you go for it. You
want
start
to
on this
bring
nice
on
bright
one.
coloured piece of paper. And so I suggest doing buildings because they're made of nice straight lines, and they're easier to do and they're quite effective. But you can do anything that you want, Paddy. You could make a robot character, anything that you like. So I'm just going to carry on over here with my buildings. So all you need is your tape, your background, and some scissors. It's that simple this week, guys. So
Tape.
you're doing a Northern Irish accent, Paddy. So the one thing that you want to notice about your buildings is the roofs. So the roofs are not straight, they're kind of triangular. This bit slants up that way and that bit slants down that way. So if you look at the roof of even a completely square skyscraper, at the top, okay, so here I am and I'm sticking tape down, and to get the top of my building I've pointed it upwards 2 straight lines, and then this bit's coming down here. So I'm going to make this building go the whole way to the ground. So what are you doing, Paddy? What picture are you making?
A person saying hi.
Ah, you're going to go for something a bit different. I think it's good that you're doing something a bit different.
Okay, I don't want to have the tape here too long. Otherwise, I'm going to not have enough room for the eye here.
So this foil tape, as I mentioned, is really good for windows, and you can decide whether you want some really big windows or whether you want lots of really super small windows. I'm going to go for some quite big windows in this one.
Oh, I wish you could go for some baby windows.
If you're struggling to find lots of different coloured tape around the house, you could use felt pens or oil pastels to help you out.
Can I show you how I do a Northern Irish accent?
Oh, that would be amazing. I'd love to hear that.
Look. I do that.
Oh, you hold your nose. Does that help to do the Northern Irish accent?
Yep. I know it does. I'm trying to laugh.
Okay. So this is progressing along nicely.
Nobody heard what I said then because I was doing a Northern Irish accent. I did. Oh yeah, because you have grown up in England, but your mother here is Irish.
Yes. I wonder how many other children watching this have got a parent that comes from another country originally and that has migrated over to this country.
Migrated.
Migrated.
I didn't know that was even a word.
Have you not heard of that word before?
Yes, I did. You're a little Middle Eastern because you're influenced. That counts.
Well, I did live in the Middle East for a while, and you're right, I am a bit influenced. I loved it there. Really, really, really loved it. So you can see the foil tape is really bringing my piece to life because it's nice and bright. Paddy's got a really cool stripy tape over there.
Guess what my
which I've got my eye on.
Word is. Guess what my favourite word is?
What's your favourite word, Paddy?
Yeet.
Ute.
No, yeet.
Ute.
Yeet.
Yeet.
Yes, yeet.
Yeet. What's that word? Where have you heard that?
I've grown up watching YouTube, duh.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll ask no more questions then. So maybe time for one last building on here, and it's all in the details, so make sure you give your building as much detail as you can. Lots of little windows.
Tape.
Could I possibly borrow that stripy tape, Paddy?
In a sec.
Brilliant, thank you. I would love that.
Wait a sec. What's that? Sec.
Can I just take a piece off?
I need to do my
Oh,
explanation.
okay. I won't interfere.
Sec.
This is looking really good, Paddy. Really, really effective. I'm looking forward to showing it on camera. So we'll just have another look at Akash's really cool work while we're waiting. Maybe I could put a little bit of washi tape.
What the?
Put some more detail on the windows here. Oh, he's finished. So So look, this is super cool. So I'm going to do a building, one last building over here.
This isn't sticking.
It's not super cool.
Ah.
It's not super cool, it's uber cool.
It's uber cool, is it, Finn?
I'm thinking, what do I do next?
So what other...
A nose, it needs a nose. It needs a nose. A blue nose instead of red. A blue nose. Blue, the best colour in the world. Blue. It needs a blue nose.
It needs a blue nose.
Everybody needs-
That sounds awesome.
Everybody needs a blue nose.
Everybody needs a blue nose.
People need a red nose.
No, blue nose.
And this tape is so striking. Look at how it just jumps off the page. It's so bright and colourful.
Wait, oh no, I can't do buck teeth.
Well, yeah, Rudolph has a red nose.
Hey.
So this is shaping up really nicely. So we're going to get back to you in just a few seconds with our finished pieces of artwork.
Bye. Nobody can tell me.
So here we are, boys, with these beautifully finished pieces, a cityscape, and Paddy has done an amazing kind of robotic face with a big height, which just looks really, really effective. So well done, boys. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah. Take my
Would you? Is there anything you would like to say when we say goodbye?
Till I
I hope you all have a happy day, and I hope you've all said thank you to the NHS.
Yay! Bye. Have a happy day, and thank you to the
This guy
NHS.
says hi, and this guy says hot bye.
Welcome to this week's drawing date. You will need a couple of different coloured pieces of paper, some scissors, some things to draw with, and just some tape to hold your drawing down, which I will show you in a second. So you can start by just drawing anything you like on your different sheets of paper. These things might be inspired by this time, the lockdown coronavirus time. You might draw or write things that you have seen that have helped you, like nature, trees, birds in the sky, anything that has been meaningful to you at the minute. And you can also just do things like just taking your pen for a walk. You don't have to do anything in particular. Okay, and you can do that with both of your pages. And then what you want to do is cut your pages into strips of about equal width. Try to make them as equal as possible, but don't panic about it too much. And the other page, you can either do the same or you can cut it the other way to make your strips longer, because that will have an interesting effect, which you'll see in a minute. So I'm going to start, once you've got all, you can cut all your strips. I've just cut a few here to show you what to do. Once you've got some of your vertical strips cut, you can lay them out and you can just tape them down like this. Okay, and then we're going to start weaving. So we're going to make a woven picture out of the drawings that you have made. So all that you do is go over, under, under. And then the next strip, you start the opposite way. So you go under then over, then under, then over. So you're going to get a really nice weaving of your chopped up drawing. So then again I'm going over, under, over, under. So each time you want to start with the opposite way. So that one went under, so this one goes over. That one goes under, so this one goes over. And you can keep building up your weaving. So this goes under, over, under, over. And then at the end, if you want, you can draw again over the top of the weaving that you've got. So that just makes a really unusual, different type of drawing. For this week's Awesome Artist, I'm going to read to you a little bit about the artist Juan Miro. And this book has been written by Anthony Penrose, who was a little boy whose parents knew Miro. This is Anthony, and he says, "My name is Tony. This is me wearing my finest horse cardigan. I grew up on Farley Farm in Sussex, England. My father was called Roland Penrose and my mother Lee Miller was a famous photographer. Both my parents were surrealist artists. Surrealists make pictures of dreams. A very special friend of my parents also made art that was dreamlike, strange and magical. That friend's name was Juan Miro. He came from Catalonia in Spain, where Juan is Spanish for John, but we just called him Miro. Miro mostly painted happy pictures, but then war broke out. A lot of Miro's paintings showed he was very upset. He moved back to Spain with his wife Pilar and their little girl Dolores. To escape from all the sadness, he created his own world in his pictures. The painting opposite is called The Nightingale's Song, At Midnight and the Morning Rain. I wonder if the dots are the notes of the bird's song, or maybe they are the raindrops. So I just wanted to point out to you that lots of artists through time have made pictures and painted artworks to help them deal with their feelings. So Miro was living around the time of the war, and he needed some way of expressing how painful everything was, and he found he was able to do this through his art. This is something really important that we can all learn. Miro came to England and he visited us at Farley Farm. The way he looked at things showed he was special. When he saw something that interested him, he watched it intensely, like a dog staring at a rabbit, except his eyes were always kind. He watched our cows coming in for milking, he watched the birds, and he watched us. And here's another little one of Miro's drawings, which is just very fresh and free. So he's not worrying at all about things looking perfect or any kind of accuracy. He's just really expressing himself. It's like a little doodle. So I just wanted to share with you about Miro so that you understand that all artists, all adults who make art are just like children. They have big feelings and they need to express them, and art can be a really useful tool for doing that. So perhaps today you could think of whatever you're feeling, be it happy or sad, and you could make a picture about that. It could be a picture of things in your life, or it could be something really abstract, just full of shapes and colours that represent how you feel today. So good luck with your art making. In today's tremendous tip, I'm going to show you how to make your own art implements. So you don't have to use ordinary paintbrushes and things. You can make your own. So I've gone out into the garden and I've grabbed a big bunch of kind of long grasses and a twig. and I'm going to make my own paintbrush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim off the tops of the grasses so that I've just got this nice leafy bunch at the end like that. It's quite messy, so maybe put down a plastic bag or something on the table that you're working with so that you can catch everything. And then I just need some masking tape, or any kind of tape will do. Or you could even tie it on with string if you've got an adult to help with you. So I've just laid my grass on my twig, and I'm now just going to tape it down. So just wrap the tape round really tightly, as tight as you can so that bits don't fall out. And there I've made a rather interesting brush. So it's time to give it a go. So I'm just dipping it in some ink. You could use paint, anything you've got, and look at those, wow, lovely unusual marks. You would never be able to get that with an ordinary brush. And you can do raindrops of ink, and you can always put quite a lot on and then lift your page and let it run down. So there you are, and that can make like a really nice background. You could go over the top with a black Sharpie or a black felt pen and draw some little characters out in the rain with their umbrellas, whatever you like. So see what you can make your own brushes out of. You could attach feathers to the end. You can get a small pile of like 5 cotton buds and attach them to the end. Lots of different things, bunches of string, threads, you name it. So have a go and see what you can make.
1, 2, 3, 4.
If you find you're stuck indoors,
Make some art and make some more.
if you're feeling really bored,
Make some art and make some more.
don't matter if you cannot draw.
Make some art and make some more.
Make something never seen before.
Make some art and make some more.